outstanding facts about Indians and their reading habits you won't believe. Buying books from bookshops or ordering them online is so mainstream. Why would you want to do what the rest of the world does? Buying books at intersections on your way to watch a cricket match is the way to go. Does this sound crazy to you? Well, it sure isn't for Indians. Here, urchins hang out at every traffic signal, trying to sell counterfeit books for just a few hundred rupees each. Yeah, that's right, counterfeit books. We're not sure why Indians fake books and how they differ from the originals. Does Geoffrey live in the Indian version of A Storm of Swords? But most of the books sold here are counterfeit and end up sold on the streets. The only thing crazier than that is that you can also buy books by the kilo. Though we must admit, telling your friends you've read 1 kilogram of thrillers over the weekend does sound impressive. Hey Bookly, maybe you should also track that. Speaking of tracking, did you know that an Indian student holds the world record for reading aloud? Aladdin made his way to the Golden Book of World Records by reading aloud continuously for 27 hours. Wow, that is a lot of hours to not use the crapper. But that's not the only reading record Indians hold. In 2015, 3,071 people gathered at the Library Merwadi Education Foundation to read from an autobiography or the story of my experiments with truth by Gandhi. KB Karuthi Karani also holds the record for being the youngest writer of a short story book in the world. At just 9 years, 4 months, and 2 days old, she wrote 2 books. Short stories, The Beginning, and short stories, The Blooming. The only thing we were writing at 9 years old was our diaries. But perhaps the most impressive record Indian readers hold is that of Osho's. The spiritual leader claimed to have read over 150,000 books during his life. That's 2,500 books per year for 60 years. Let that sink in for a moment. So, we know that books are very popular in India and that people here have read more than anywhere else in the world. Indians clock 10.4 hours of weekly reading. But what do they read? Well, when they're not busy Bollywood dancing, Indians read about Harry Potter's adventures. Yep, Indians are almost as crazy about Harry Potter as Dobby was. In fact, when Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows was first released in India, fans queued up at 4 o'clock in the morning to buy the original. So far, 250,000 copies have been sold. Considering that anything above 10,000 is deemed a bestseller, that's quite something. And we didn't even add up the copies sold on the counterfeit market. Quite a rebellious feat on young Indians' part. India is a very career-focused country, and parents and teachers heavily discourage reading outside the curriculum. Yet, somehow, 50 Shades of Grey is one of the best-selling books in India. We wonder how that happened. Other things Indians enjoy reading are romantic novels, mythology retold according to the present generation, and biographies of famous personalities. And let's not forget about the newspaper. India is the only country in the world where the newspaper market is still growing and very profitable. Say what? Now, you'd think since reading is so popular in India, you can see people read everywhere around you. Wrong. Public reading is not encouraged. Although it's not illegal, how could reading ever be seen as illegal? Indians don't like seeing others flaunt their intellectualism in public. Instead, reading is seen as something taboo, like making babies. Did these facts make you want to pick up a book and set some records of your own? Download the Bookly app now and make reading a habit.